Hi there to you. I hope I find you well on this festive Christmas day. That's the day that this video is going out. And we've had a wonderful year despite COVID. There's been so many new models coming through. The channel has grown and grown, and really I could only do that with the amazing support and love that you guys have given me. You've been sharing the videos, you've been liking the videos, and just getting the stuff out there, letting people know what we're up to on here. You've followed all of the amazing projects that I've been doing, that Potato Mountain, Project 009, but also everything else that we've been doing throughout the year. We've reviewed an awful lot of great models. We've done some interviews with some really interesting people, and I've been given opportunities to go and visit places like Statfold Barn as well. So I thought on this Christmas day, I'd just pop in and see how you're doing, hoping that you got exactly what you wanted for Christmas and getting a bit of Christmas cheer. And I was going to take you on a little bit of a tour of Weir Yard. We haven't done that in ages. So really excited to show you some of the little tiny projects that I've been doing in my spare time. If you've been watching the Facebook group, if you're a member of that, if not, do go and check it out. I have posted photographs throughout the year of bits and pieces that have been going on, but now it's the opportunity, in association with Train-O-Matic, makers of DCC decoders and accessories, to take you on a tour of Weir Yard and maybe show you a few of the bits that you might have missed. Weir Yard has come from strength to strength throughout the year, and it's been an honour to have you on board, joining us for the Monday Club live streams, all the videos, following through the projects as well, particularly Minith Tattis, aka Potato Mountain, Project 009, but I haven't neglected up here in the loft on Weir Yard. So I'm going to show you some of the little projects that I have been up to that you may not have seen other than in photographs on the Facebook group. So I've finally got this area in the corner done and dusted. I used the ratio security fencing, and you can see there with the gates and everything, it has finally just demarked the industrial area from the main line, and it's something I always wanted to do and just never got round to it until now. Now I'm really pleased with the results that I've got from that ratio kit. I mean, it's fiddly, but of course, as we all know, ratio does fiddly very, very well, but it does get an amazing result. Those gates do theoretically open. I'm not going to prod them too much because the hinges are quite fragile. But really pleased with how it's just finishing off this area round here. Now, other things I've been up to, well, some fencing has turned up around here as well, and I finally got the TMD separated from the branch over here with more of that fencing. But when the fencing ran out, this is actually matchsticks painted to match the kit, and using some more of that chain link type material that came with the kit. They actually give you plenty, which is really nice. I've been able to actually do all the fencing I wanted without worrying too much, and you can see here as well, I've been really going to town with the static grass and some of the clump foliage. This is actually a mix of woodland scenics with the War World scenics static grass. And down here as well, really do have to send out a big Christmas thank you to War World Scenics, who very, very kindly have supplied a lot of these materials for review and for projects, and I'm really, really grateful because it's allowed me to experiment and show you guys different ways of doing things, and also look out as well. We've got some projects coming. We started filming, but they'll be ready for the new year. That's really going to showcase some of these great products. And you can see here the really, really unkempt grass going in, starting to hide some of those big patches of just bare ballast that I had from when I first built the layout. It was just simply a case of, if in doubt, fill the space with ballast and think later. All of this has been done with the War World Scenics 12mm grass, with some of the flower dressing kits as well. Really great result. And again, I don't know whether I've really shown it much, but this area here, that's all been done with static grass. I actually applied that from the applicator using War World Scenics, the 4mm grass. Gets a great effect. Don't forget to mask your track, otherwise your track sort of disappears under it. But then this lighting tower, it's scratch built out of, I think it was a Kibri kit, an N-gauge Kibri kit for an electricity transmission pylon. And I modified it using some scrap bits. You probably might recognise once I tell you. Those lights on the top came out of the Dapol signal gantry kits. I never used the actual colour aspect signals that come with those. I don't think they look particularly good for that job, but they were in the bottom of my bits box, and it kind of works for this. It needs some weathering, but it's getting there. Now, I've done a lot more static grass as well. Yes, I am a huge convert to static grass, so other areas, again, just filling in between the tracks, a bit more over there, really just bringing the layout to life. And some of the areas that I wasn't completely happy with, the static grass has made all of the difference. Now, we did do a video on improving the top of the yard, so all of that has been covered. Just moving on round here. Again, some of the War World Scenics clump foliage, I've been using that just to enliven what was actually very flat, lackluster static grass from the outset. Now, if I move over here, and I'm probably going to cast a shadow with the lights, but I've been static grassing this hillside. It's the bit of Weir Yard that you never really see. And just down there by the mainline track, that used to just be a vast expanse of bare ballast. I've grassed it up using the applicator, and as you can see, that Hornby Scaledale walling, the dry stone walling, which is actually a really great and easy to use kit for those of you who may be not confident enough to make your own dry stone wallings. The static grass applied over the top actually weathers it up really, really nicely. And as I said, great kit. You can see there different versions, and that particular version there comes with a field gate, and we've got this whole area here is now finished, and I like having this dry stone walling and all of the static grass elements because it just demarks it all off. It just looks strange with nothing dividing the scenery and the track, but now it all looks really good. Now, this area here has not changed. I quite like the short grass, so I haven't really gone to town with static grass applicator around here. But I did really get to work on this hillside. I did cover that, but what I didn't cover is that the other N-gauge Kibri electricity transmission tower, I transformed into one of these old style radio masts, and you can see there painted up with the matte off-white and the matte red. It actually does give quite a good suggestion, and I did follow a lot of photographs online. Now, probably more akin to what you might see somewhere Eastern Bloc countries. They seem to use this colour scheme, but I just really liked it, and I was inspired by Les Cliff and something that he'd done on Not Lobia, and I had the kit to hand. It was just going to waste, so it became this tower. And also you can see there again the really long, the 12mm and the 10mm War World Scenic static grass has gone in around the bottom, and it just works ever so well. I've not really quite decided the function of this, but I guess I can claim it's connected to the military place over here. And you know, it's my railway, I'll do what I like, but I just really like the look of it, and it gives a really nice focal point to the top of Jablite Mountain. I've also been buying some of the scenic accents from Woodland Scenics, and these are the hiker set, and I've added them in, just again adding something of interest into the model. Now, one of the areas that I've left till last, and I kind of just doing this as a little update, you might have noticed on some of the other things that I talked about, this just wasn't there. And I've made this over the space of a day, literally just a day. And the idea was I needed to extend this embankment this way because originally there was just a flat edge of the baseboard, which if I get down here, you can see that original baseboard edge back there. And I had some scrap wood, so I made what could almost be described as a shelf. I built up with some foam, which was some scrap packaging that came in an order from Hornby, and then it's the War World Scenics static grass applicator and a mix of the various lengths of static grass, the clump foliage that they do, the flower dressing kit as well. Love that stuff. As you can see, great results every time. And what it actually shows is it's something that I absolutely love about static grass is it's great for hiding the joins in things. So you can imagine here, there was the original edge of the layout. And the join there just isn't a join, it just simply isn't there. And that's because the static grass applicator is so great at just blending these things in. And the grass itself only took maybe 20 minutes to half an hour. And that's something I really do love about the static grass, is it's quick and it's easy. You don't need a lot of skill to do this. It's just simply a case of mixing up the colours and lengths and just shaking that thing, you know, shake it like it's a Polaroid picture over the top of your model and just making sure you spray some more of that static grass layering spray. It really is easy. Now, the actual culvert here, that's from the Wills Kits range, and it's the cattle creep, or at least one half of it. Effectively, they give you both sides of the embankment, but I've only used one. And there is actually an interior in there. I've built some brick walls using some scrap embossed plastic, and then filled up the base with the mud mix, which was actually, there's a photograph knocking around that I did take. It's the only construction picture that I did take of this landscape looking like a World War I trench diorama, just as a sea of mud, which is what's actually underneath the grass. And I just sort of mixed up a little bit that was left over, put it in for the base of the creek. And now, just in the same way that I did for Minith Tattis, eventually I'm going to use some of the probably deluxe material solid water in here. I build a clear cofferdam to hold it back and then just fill it up a little bit, and I think that that's going to be a really interesting water feature. If you are wondering, some of these extra bits, this is a scrap piece off a Daypole signal gantry, and it's just simply a case of dumping a few bits in just to add some kind of interest. And the best way to describe that is it's just some industrial detritus, disused, probably supported a pipe once upon a time but doesn't anymore, and it's just about making something visually interesting. So there we have it, probably the single biggest addition to Weir Yard, which hasn't been featured in a video of its own. And that's, in terms of scenic side of things, what's been going on with Weir Yard. But we also did the video on the DCC Concepts Shuttle, and I was really pleased to be able to fit that in, retrofitting it in. And we've actually got 3 up and running within Weir Yard. And it's actually very, very subtle. As I showed in the video, we just cut into the rails in various places. And then underneath, we added all of the modules. And I say we, it's kind of the royal we, I did. And it's really, really transformed the interest of operation of Weir Yard, and it's something I would highly recommend for anybody's layout. If you've got a length of track that's sort of out and back, that you can have something that shuttles on and you do DCC, it is so easy to fit and so effective. Looking up here at the collection, again, it's not an area, I don't like to brag too much, don't think of this as bragging, but a lot of people do ask what I've actually got. So I'm just going to run through some of these locomotives here. A lot of these you'll be familiar with. Some of them, I tend to buy stuff that doesn't necessarily go through a review video. It's more my personal likes, as it were, adding to the collection. Or it'll be a different livery or running number of a model that I really, really like. I'm just going to turn this light on here, maybe get some more light over into that corner. And then at the moment, some of the shunters, they're actually out on the layout. I'm actually filming this whilst I'm prepping for tender takeover, is what I'm actually prepping for at the moment. But I do have a lot of locomotives. There's quite a few actually over here as well. So you can see in these drawers, I think we did talk a bit about these drawers. These are all full of just locomotives. A lot of these are short steam locomotives. At the moment, Wayard is set up for mostly diesels. Although actually there's a lot of diesels in there as well. It does become quite easy to lose track of what you have, which is quite embarrassing in a way. You could argue I've got too much, and I possibly agree with you at times. But actually, no, I tell a lie. I take that back. You can never have too much model railway equipment. But certainly there's some really interesting models here. I should actually run them more. I tend to find that I default to certain locomotives that I really enjoy running, and it comes at the expense of some of the other ones that I've got here, which is a real shame at times. Now, what else have we been up to? Actually, a lot of people have asked about Minith Tattis, so just going down now to show you Minith Tattis. And again, this is a part of the house that we never really show on any videos. I don't really know why we would. We call this the cool wall. And it's one of those picture walls where, yes, there's family stuff going on. I'm going to steer clear of the family stuff. But what I am going to show you is some of the pictures of projects that I've been really proud to be involved with. So there's me and Dick Strawbridge there. But also Zoe as well, the cupboard monkey, has been and met lots and lots of people. So this is all on the cool wall here, and I was really jealous actually when she got to meet him, because I wasn't there. And then we got to hold this cup. I'm not into football, so I don't know, maybe they're all drinking lemonade from it or something. I don't know, but that was actually a good day. Got to talk with Bolton Wanderers footballers about what they thought of the Maserati Quattroporte, me trying to sound like I knew what I was talking about. And that's when we climbed a mountain. So some great stuff here. But anyway, I'm going to move on. It is dark outside, so it's one of the reasons energy-saving bulbs don't really work too well for videos, but still got my old childhood Hornby 00 collection in one of these Picture Pride displays down here. I really love this stuff. I would never, ever dream of getting rid of any of these. And of course, the cupboard monkey has some kind of Doctor Who thing going on here. I'm sure that's the guy who had a second career selling that smash instant mashed potato. But here is Minith Tattis. I'm going to be putting this away in a bit because at the point of recording this, it's completely finished. And I'm trying to think now. Yes, you will have seen at this point all of the construction videos few, so I'm not going to get into trouble for showing you the complete layout, because at this stage you have actually seen all of the construction. So 3 feet by 3 feet, Minith Tattis is turned out really, really well, and I was just so pleased with this. It's given me a slice of North Wales inspired narrow gauge, and I am actually really, really happy to have something that I can run 009 locomotives on, and actually N gauge as well. I could be tempted to play about with N gauge because I can run them on this layout. Well, this is just a sneak peek at Minith Tattis, and I'm going to take you back upstairs now. Well, it's been absolutely great having your company, and really nice to hang out with you on this Christmas day for half an hour or so, just showing you what's been going on Weir Yard. I hope you got everything that you wanted for Christmas. I hope you're staying safe, and until next time, this is me, Jenny Kirk, saying like, share, subscribe, and happy modelling. Bye for now. Today's video is sponsored by Trainomatic, makers of DCC decoders designed to be fully compatible with every manufacturer's locomotive. Visit train-o-matic.com to browse the full range and see what they've got suitable for you. I'd like to send out a huge thanks to everybody who supports me on Patreon, and an extra special huge thanks goes out to Anthony Kidson, Michael Churchwood, Anthony Hunt, William Wade, Wayne Johns, Offshore Allen, oorail.co.uk, Tepic, Michael Lockie, Helen Sink, Peter Bolton, Brian and Dorothy Mudd, Gary Lewis, David Quinn, Sparky 107107, George Botterini, Andy Finch, Chris Moss, Robert Sears, MD of San Juan Model Company and Grant Line Products, Sam Yates, Dale Williams, and Mo Henry. Thank you. Without you guys, I couldn't do this.